All right, Steve, we all know this is the Bees of Boxing. You're Steve Swift. I'm Chris. Just Chris. That's it. TID if you want to, you know, go for the silliness. Here's my question for you though, Steve. Is Oleksandr Usyk, well, okay, let me premise this first for those of you that don't maybe don't follow along here as much. Steve, you are a film guy. One of my favorite movies of all time is The Usual Suspects. And the reason that I like The Usual Suspects is quite simply because of Kevin Spacey's character in it. Everybody loves the story of Keyser Söze, how he went and played this thing out at perfect precision and got away with the perfect crime at the end of all of this. And my question to you is Oleksandr Usyk, Keyser Söze?
So what you're saying is that Oleksandr Usyk, there's a biopic coming out, and Kevin Spacey is playing Oleksandr Usyk. Is that what you're saying? Because I mean, it's an interesting casting, but no, I think he's just about to come unstuck. I'm a real Oleksandr Usyk guy, as you know.
Okay.
But the problem he's got is that, you know, when you go into negotiations for stuff, you have to have a comparator. It's 4%, guys. Well, the firm down the road just got 6. There's my comparator. The problematic comparator for Usyk is Fabio Wardley. Because Fabio Wardley is saying, I'm new to this. And people forget that Oleksandr Usyk isn't. I'm new to this. I really respect the belt. I'm facing Daniel Dubois. It's a hard fight, but I want those hard fights. And then I want Tyson Fury because I want to make this belt shiny. Oleksandr Usyk does not want to make any of his belts shiny at the moment. And believe me when I say he has earned the right to do that. Fantastic generational boxing talent and plays the business of boxing very well, to your point. But I'm just getting a bit sick and tired now of all of the shenanigans, particularly with him facing Rico Verhoeven. And you know he's not made a very good move because Mauricio Sulaiman is having real fun with this. And when he can get involved in it, you know it's not a good move.
So is this for the WBC heavyweight title?
No, it's for a WBC title, but there's no sanctioning on it. And it'll be a very nice belt, which has the pyramids of Giza, because we're talking about the glory in Giza, folks. It will have the pyramids on it, apparently, but it will not be for his WBC belt. Why? Because Mauricio said, nobody asked me.
And this leads into it. So for those of you that don't know, Rico Verhoeven is a 6'5" king of kickboxing with 66 wins or 66 fights and 21 of those by knockout. 66 wins, 10 losses in kickboxing. In MMA, he's 1-0. And in boxing, he's 1-0. But now he gets to fight for a WBC title against arguably the best heavyweight, cruiserweight, pound for pound greatest of all time, Oleksandr Usyk. Here's my hot take on this. Oleksandr Usyk is sick and tired of giving away his money back to the WBC. We know this for a fact. Oleksandr Usyk doesn't like to give that stuff up. Oleksandr Usyk also is given the opportunity to get a voluntary title defense. This is where this is all going to get sticky in the future. Here's what I say. I say Oleksandr Usyk has handpicked Rico Verhoeven. Here's a guy who's not even a boxer, for that matter, to come in, put him over. Now, all of a sudden, the WBC has arguably a nobody as a champion that they can't do anything with. and Oleksandr Usyk marches over to Zuffa Boxing and His Excellency, where he doesn't have to pay all of these fees. And Mauricio Suleiman and the WBC, because they've made such a joke out of all of this with Zuffa and His Excellency, that's why this is happening. There's your hot take, Steve.
It's a very good hot take, but there's one problem with it.
Oh, wait, hold on. I got one step further. You're asking yourself, well, why is it Rico Verhoeven? How does Rico Verhoeven get involved in all of this? I don't know if you know this or not. You know who Rico Verhoeven's boxing sparring partner is? That's right. It's Tyson Fury.
Yeah, it's all, you know, it would work, except that Mauricio Suleiman has a reason to say, not your man, that's not your voluntary defense, because he's not in the top 15. And he has to be your mandatory defense, and he's nowhere. So you can have this fight, but we're not doing anything with it. You've still got a mandatory defense, or drop that belt and go and F yourself. That's what Mauricio Suleiman will be saying, because he waited, saw Verhoeven, thought, he's in no lists. I'm in no trouble. You can have a belt and I'll pay for it, and it'll be lovely, and I'll have pyramids on it. And it might play a little tune when you turn it round like that WWF belt. But it's not going to be the WBC heavyweight belt.
Do you think that Oleksandr Usyk then wants to fight for another belt that he's got to pay sanctioning fees on?
He drops it. He drops the belt. He drops it. He gets the money for the Verhoeven fight. He drops the belt.
Then what's the point of the fight? Who's funding the fight?
It's Turkey Al-Sheikh money, isn't it?
It has to be.
It is. It is, because he's had to come in, because Joe Coppinger, who of course is a Ring Magazine gent, said it's a spectacle. Very quickly, Turkey Al-Sheikh said, no, it's a dangerous fight. Now, Turkey Al-Sheikh is walking quite a fine line here, because he's the one who his narrative says, I love boxing, folks. I really want to make those big fights because I just love boxing. Great competition, good fights. This ain't a good fight. This is an event. This is a spectacle. This ain't a boxing fight. Now, it might turn out to be fantastic in the ring, and I might be eating my words, but right now, in the business of boxing, I'm saying, not a great fight. So, Turkey, why have you made this fight? Or why are you involved in this fight? Because actually, it's not the kind of fight that you really want, is it?
He's just a financier. But at the end of the day, on the books, the people that look bad on this for doing this is the WBC. Maybe this is a sabotage. Maybe this is a sabotage by His Excellency, starting to go now with these governing bodies. Yeah. Next thing you know, you're gonna have a kickboxer as a WBC heavyweight champion. The IBF their champions are silly anyways. You're gonna have the WBC will have a train conductor as their champion. This is what we're going to go down to, and then you're going to put yourself into the position where Zuffa is the only one. I don't know if you've seen the commercials yet or not, Steve, but there is, for the Zuffa World Cruiserweight title, that's happening. That belt is being fought for by Jai Opataya. That's a real thing. This is how things start. There's no legacy with this, but this is how things start. And I think you're going to see a shift. You're going to see a shift in all of it. You watch.
I agree with you eventually, but two things, a little spoke in the wheel here.
Okay.
I'll take the second one first and the first one second. The second one is that Jai Opataya wants to unify. He wants to unify a bit of power station for you there.
Yes, it'll get unified with that Zuffa belt.
Yeah, but he doesn't want that. Yeah, I know, but he still wants the alphabet belts, and I don't think that. I think he's too uncompromising, because he's saying, and he's been saying on, unless someone has a sharp word with him and says, "Look at all this lovely money," opens a case and says, "Look at all this lovely money." But he's been saying stuff's happening behind the. And first of all, he said, "I was made promises." Now we don't know what that is, but I can guess. Now he's saying it's something happening behind the words to the effect of. stuff's happening behind closed doors and we're getting closer to fights. He's not stopping with this, I want to unify. So he still won't be happy with, we got the ring belt, what more do you want? And the other thing is that Mauricio Sullivan is too smart for this. You know, I mean, I don't think anybody would have thought I would have said that when they woke up this morning, but he is, you know, he's basically having fun with this because I think he's already come, I think you're right, but I think he's already come to the conclusion that Usyk, although he came to our convention, I don't think he really wants to do this. So let's give him that nice pyramid belt and tell him that he's got to fight Ajit Kabayel or you're dropping. And we'll be very clear on this. And no matter what he comes out and says, we're very clear. You don't want to fight. You don't want to fight for it. We'll give it to Ajit. And then he can try and fight Wardley. And then we can have some kind of unification there.
Or he can just walk away.
He could just walk away.
This is Oleksandr Usyk we're talking about. He could just walk away from the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could walk away and enjoy the Wu-Tang Clan.
He could. He could do that. For the children, obviously.
Come to the children. Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children.
Could you
All times.
imagine Oleksandr Usyk making that speech? Usyk is for the children. I teach the children.
But you know what? Actually, I mean, joking apart, when he leaves the boxing,
Yeah.
he will leave boxing. I do not believe he will do the circuit. I don't believe you'll see him on Zuffa Boxing doing commentary. I think he will pay back to to Ukraine. I think he will pay back to that, and I think he will work with younger people for boxing. I think he will. But you're right; he could just step away. But I think Mauricio and WBC are already thinking, you came and broke bread with us at our convention. We said you could have a voluntary fight. The Deontay Wilder works because he is within the top 15. And you didn't want that fight, or it didn't work for some reason. So let's just see what happens. Oh, Rico Verhoeven. Oh, you can have this belt. I think that's a superb thing from Mauricio Sullivan. Have to say, you know, I'm not being very laudatory about the gentleman, but I think by saying, well, nobody asked me because they've already announced it. So nobody asked me. So it won't be for that belt, will it? Case closed.
Well, it's a pompous move, and let's see what other pompous moves we're going to see from all of them going future. I think it's